Stop fooling around, man.
Hello, everybody. I'm John.
And I'm Justin.
And we're
Gore
the
Goblins.
Gore Goblins.
Yay.
Yeah. Woohoo. Yay. Guess what? we watch horror movies.
Do we?
Some that we like.
Some we don't.
And some that we've never heard of or seen or whatever. Welcome to our fucking podcast, I guess. I don't know.
It's Monday after work again. We feel great.
We're going to do every Monday, Justin, just because I feel like us being in a state of delirium makes the episodes that much better. So here we are. Today, we're talking about Friday the 13th.
Part 3.
Part 3 in 3D. And boy, let me tell you, they really want you to fucking know that this movie was filmed in 3D.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I was expecting a titty to pop out in 3D. Didn't happen. If they had balls, Jason's dick would have popped out in 3D. And that would have been her. Like, that would have been the ending. Instead of Pamela Voorhees coming out of the water, it's just Jason with a heart on. And then, like, they just zoom in on his dick. That would have been bold. But, you know, this is the 80s. So, you know, not Reagan's America. Anyway, so here we are, 1982. This is also directed by Steve Miner. And he was toiling away in those fucking Friday the 13th mines. Another run at the pictures, at the movie. You know what I'm trying to say. Funny thing, Justin. This movie starts out with a flashback of the end of the second movie, which made me think, oh, it's going to be, Ginny's going to be the final girl again, I guess. No. Nope.
No.
Completely new characters.
It's just reminding you how her part ended.
Including a Crazy Ralph stand-in that's in the movie for like 10 minutes. Not even 10 minutes, 10 seconds. And all he does is just put an eye in the camera. And it's supposed to gross you out while you're, you know, French kissing your girlfriend in the theater. What?
No, he was saying that Jason wanted him to have that piece.
Yeah, what? Well, I don't care. Whatever. It doesn't. Listen, I'm a level with you here. This movie is not as good as the last two. Well, I mean, it's you know, it's a Friday the 13th movie, but like this one especially just feels like all they gave a shit about was the fucking 3D stuff, because the dude that played Rick, oh my God, that dude had some of the worst fucking most ass line delivery I've ever heard in my life. He sounded so unconcerned with everything going on. It was incredible. The lack of just urgency in that man's voice. And then when what's-her-name finds all of her friends dead before she gets stabbed with the hot poker, and she's like, oh my God, Shirley's dead. And I'm like, bitch, you are not selling
Shelley's
this.
dead.
You are not selling this. Oh, Shelley? I thought it was Shirley. Whoops. I was like, you are not selling this, woman. This is awful. Like, this is so fucking bad. And I know you don't watch these movies for like the acting, but like, oh my God, it was distractingly bad. Like, to the point this is the first time I was like, this is really the best they could do, huh? That's too bad. And speaking of Shelley, his fucking self-defeating ass. Oh my God.
Their third Joker in the group that wants a girl.
You know, he rivals Franklin from Twilight Zone, from Texas Chainsaw Massacre as one of my most hated fucking characters, because he's just so like, oh, girls don't want me. Bro, you go on Twitter, there's like 10 bitches that are just ready to jump you. Trust me. Dudes that look like you that are just funny sometimes, trust me. They'll be on you like a motherfucker. Even then, you fucking what's her name was like, I do like you, but not when you're an asshole. And that's relatable, first of all. Second of all, yeah, that's the thing, is like he's just a self-defeating fucking idiot. And I like the part when he asks her, like, hey, I really like you, and she's like, it's not gonna happen, like, we'll talk about it later. And then he just calls her a bitch, and I'm like, well, that's why you're single, you fucking idiot. I'm like, because you take any woman rejecting you like that. Come on, dude. Get over yourself. Christ. And then, you know,
what I felt like watching this? Sorry. I felt like this is what Halloween 5 would have been like if it was worse than what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Michael gets that fucking stupid looking alien mask from some Joker kid instead of wherever the fuck he got it from. But that's the only good thing about Shelley is that he was the one to give Jason his iconic hockey mask that everybody knows him by. So that's cool. Good for him for that, I guess.
Yeah.
They also completely retconned the ending of 2, where Jason busts through the window and grabs Ginny,
Yeah.
and that's because I don't know. It's Friday the 13th. It ain't The Godfather. Just go with it. I feel like this franchise is gonna do that a lot. Just like Halloween did it a lot, where Jesus Christ, where Michael gets blown to shit by all them good old boys into the fucking well, and then he's just like, and then the old man's like, "I'll take care of you, big boy," and then he takes care of him for some
His
fucking
parrot
reason.
commanded him.
Yeah, but I don't know. That Jason's a mama's boy. I don't know. That's fine. What are you gonna do?
Michael just survives on luck.
Michael,
Like literally, all those shots missed.
he survives
He-
on luck and the eternal hatred he has with young Danielle Harris, and then I guess older Danielle Harris in the Rob Zombie movies. But
Well, he got her, so
well, yeah, poor Brad Dourif. Poor guy. It's just that part really makes me very sad. I'm gonna be real. That's like one of the most effective scenes in any of those fucking movies. Actually, I think, especially in the director's cut, where you got those flashes of her when she was a kid, and I was just like, like I thought I was dying. I was just like, fuck, man. Oh, it hurts. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I mean, none of that's in this movie. You know what is in this movie? Popcorn popping up at the screen. This fucking unnecessary 15-second long ass scene of fucking what's his fuck, chuckle fuck, I stand on my hands Jones doing the fucking yo-yo at the end of the camera for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, I get it, Steve. It's a 3D camera. I don't fucking care. Oh my God. Oh.
Andy.
What's his name?
Andy.
Oh, all right. I'm going to forget that in the next 5 seconds. But thanks for telling me, Justin. Jesus Christ. Listen, this movie's fine.
Who the fuck's name was Chili in this movie?
It has some fun kills. Wasn't that the final girl?
No, that's Chris.
Oh, yeah, Chrissy. That's right. Yeah. Chili? Maybe it was one of the bikers.
No, there was only one biker girl, and that was Fox.
Yeah, but then her boyfriend and then the white dude.
Well, I'm looking at a woman
Oh,
who's labeled as Chili in this movie.
what does she look like? Let me see the picture. Show me the fucking picture. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, Chili. Where's Chili?
Redhead.
Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is. I don't even know who fucking Debbie is. Who are the... Oh, Debbie's the one that's like, oh my God, Shelly's dead. I think that's Debbie. But Chris, Chili, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Listen, man, the names don't matter. Listen, we got Stoner Guy. We got Andy, who handstands. We got his pregnant question mark girlfriend.
Yeah, I was gonna say question mark.
we got Chrissy. We got motherfucking the girlfriend of Stoner Guy. We got motherfucking Shelly, and then we got, I guess that's fucking Chili, his date or whatever that hates him because he's an idiot.
Well, that was Vera.
Man, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'm done guessing. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Anyway, they're all there. The gang's all here. They're vibing. They're listen. The 3D, like, I feel like if I had a 3D TV and I watched this movie in 3D, I would have enjoyed it much more than I did. But, because this movie lives and dies by that shit. The Paramount Pictures, who I forget always, like, was behind these movies, because they were also behind, like, Indiana Jones and shit. And what's funny about that is in Raiders of the Lost Ark, you have that ending where all the fucking Nazis die horrible deaths. Old boy gets his head sucked like a straw, like he's being eaten by the brain bug from Starship Troopers. The Belloc's head explodes, and then that fucking weird Palpatine Nazi's face fucking melts, and the MPA was like, PG. Yeah, PG. That's fine. but you know, half the shit in Friday the 13th Part 3 isn't even that graphic, and they're just like, it's looking like an X. It's looking like it's gonna. You gotta trim some of that. It's gonna be bad. You're not Steven Spielberg. Sorry. So I don't know. That's besides the point. Because those movies came out around the same fucking time. That's what gets me. I'm not saying this movie should be rated PG, mind you. I'm just saying it's funny that's where they draw the line. But
I mean, really, this one could get away with a 13
yeah,
in this day and age.
the worst shot is when old fucking
Andy's cut in half up
and
in the
Andy's
rafters.
when Andy's in the rafter, and his fucking legs are just split apart
How'd
like he's
Jason
a
get
fucking
him up there?
turkey. I don't know, man. Don't think about it. It's fine. This isn't. Again, they keep doing this thing. They keep doing Michael's thing where Jason poses everybody. Why? I know Jason's a big kid, but like, he's not like a Halloween. The reason Michael does it is because he's like, ooh, it's Halloween. That's why Michael does it. Jason's just, I don't know, goofy. I don't fucking know. And also I just want to say, I mean this in the nicest way possible. I feel like if Jason talked in this movie, he would sound like Sylvester Stallone. I don't know why, but that's like when he's got the spear gun and he shoots what's her name in the eye.
Yeah.
I like imagined to myself that he was like, hey, yeah, good job. And he was walking off, and I was like, does he just sound like Sylvester Stallone in my head now? Is that just who he is? Is that just who he is now? Is that Jason?
Yep.
The fuck?
That's
Old
Jason.
fucking hunchback. Old fucking hunchback of Notre Dame. Ass Jason Voorhees. Yeah, so I don't know, man. This movie's all right. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's just those 3D effects were really getting on my fucking nerves because I'm not getting the effect. Paramount did not think ahead into the future when this would be available on VHS and shit.
And they didn't cut some of them really well, so you could tell that they were like freezing to hold the scene.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the baseball bat at the beginning.
Yeah. And then, like, there's that shot of Jason with the axe coming out of his head.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can tell it's a freeze frame, and I'm like, all right. All right, that's fine. That's all right. That's the best take you had, huh? Apparently, well, I'll get into that when we go through the this development of it. But yeah, this movie's something. It's something. Those 3D effects were making me mad. I did because I was like, well, I will say this: the Scream Factory Blu-ray is like a 3D Blu-ray, right? The old Blu-ray that Warner Brothers, I think, had put out, and like the tin case that's got like Jason on the front of it, and it's just like there's 2 movies per disc. Mm-hmm. That one, I believe, has the movie like in like the red and blue 3D where you put on your glasses, you put on these shitty red and blue glasses, and it looks like shit. But at least you get the effect. With a normal 3D TV, I remember watching Dread in 3D, and I was like, "Damn, this is all right. This is kind of neat." I wish I still had a 3D TV so I could have watched this in 3D because I feel like I would have liked it a little bit more, just a little bit more. It wouldn't have like saved the movie, but it would have made it slightly more enjoyable because I could have been like, but then I would have been like, okay, you're really overdoing it. It takes me back to that time.
I mean, they only did it like 6 times.
That's too many. In a 90-something minute movie, that's way too many.
That was their whole selling point for that one. That's why the story sucked.
But it took me back to that time when we were teenagers, and every single fucking movie was in 3D. Every single one
Never
was
saw
in
one
3D.
in 3D.
All of them were in 3D. Oh my God. Even fucking Scream 6 came out in 3D, which is weird because why? The movie was not shot with that in mind. Was Paramount Paramount again, by the way. Was Paramount just like, were they just like, fuck it, the kids will go. Nobody fucking saw Scream 6 in 3D, bro. What would you have gotten out of that? Nothing even.
No, it's just for the people who want to go brag online saying that they saw the most expensive version of a movie, and you didn't.
The most expensive version would be an IMAX or Dolby Cinema at this point, and Dolby Cinema is way better than fucking 3D because not only do you have Dolby Atmos surround sound, which is really fucking neat if you're in a good theater anyway, but you also got Dolby Vision on the fucking screen, which means that the black bars and the blacks in general look deeper than they would on a normal projector, and that's neat. I love that. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about 3D. I remember, that's funny. I remember Endgame, I think, was the last movie I saw in 3D. I don't even know why we saw it in 3D. I think my buddy bought the wrong tickets, and he was like, whatever. So he was like, I was wondering why they were so expensive. It was me and my bud Pablo, and I remember we went, and when the movie started, it wasn't in 3D. So like I just saw like everybody around me like taking their glasses off, like what the fuck? And then like the movie just froze, and then we heard a voice say, sorry, we're gonna restart it. We messed up, and then they restarted it. And it was fine. But it was like that was already a 3-hour movie, and that was like 20 minutes that we had to wait for them to fix that shit. And the funny thing is if I remember right, the trailers were in 3D too. So it was like the trailers worked fine, but then the movie itself just didn't. So it was very odd. That was a strange night. But that's besides the point. Let's get into how little I probably remember of this movie, because
I got you.
it's a little bit forgettable, just a little bit.
This one starts with a unnecessarily long fucking backtrack of what happened in the last movie.
It really is like it because you get everything, and they don't cut any of it
Yeah,
out.
you get basically the whole ending minus them going back to the cabin and getting scared by the wind or whatever.
Yeah, from the part where Jenny runs into the cabin and puts on Pamela Voorhees' sweater, like to the end when she just gets carted away and she's like, "Where's Brad?" or whatever the fuck his name was. I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
But it was way too long, is the point. It was way too long.
All they needed to show was Jason getting hit in the shoulder and then blah.
That's really it. Yeah.
But then we get these new characters. What is it? Chrissy? I don't know. They just kept calling her Chris the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's her and her friends Vera and Andy, and then this douchebag Shelly, which I hate.
Yeah, he's like Franklin. Well, okay, I hate him for different reasons.
I just
But,
hate
like,
that this is the third time we've had this character in the movie.
It's a staple. It's a stereotype. It's gonna happen in every single fucking one,
To
Justin.
make it better, at least Ned was funny.
Was he? I don't
Yes.
even remember what he did. I really don't. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember what Ned did.
Shelly's just like that obnoxious little. He's like a little brother.
And he's self-defeating.
Like a little brother.
What am I gonna do? You girls don't like me.
Fucking God, I just wanted to strangle him. That's what I wanted to do.
So Shelly's thing is he likes to play pranks because he's an actor. I guess he said
Is that what he said? Is that his reason?
aspiring actor.
That's right. That was his reasoning. He was like, I'm an actor. I gotta. I have to. He kept saying, I have to do this. No, you don't. You don't have to be a fucking dickhead.
He's
bro.
got some dark backstory where he's gonna get murdered if he doesn't do this.
Maybe. I mean, it doesn't help given what happens in the movie, but I guess, dude. Like,
So-
there's an FBI agent with a scope trained on him at all times. If I don't do these jokes, I'm gonna fucking die, guys. You don't understand. Jeez.
So yeah, we meet all of them.
Yeah.
And then we meet the two hippies in the back of the van just getting high as hell.
Yeah, they getting fucking toasted.
And then they all discuss what's going on because somebody talked Vera into dating Shelly for the day or night.
That's too bad.
Like, poor girl. I mean, she played it pretty cool.
Yeah, she was.
She wasn't a bitch like Shelly claimed.
She was one of the better characters. She was like one of the only characters that I felt bad about.
I mean, but all the characters in this movie felt kind of pointless.
Well, yeah, I mean, this series isn't known for its characters, but every now and then you get a good one here and there. Like I liked Chris, and then Vera's fine.
Yeah, her screaming was hilarious.
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
did really good at it.
yeah. Well, what are you gonna do? Also, you forgot about the intro where Jason goes to that store or whatever and kills the shop owners for no reason.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that whole part.
Yeah, isn't the dude on the shitter or something? And
You
then
go from one wasted time to another wasted time.
Yeah, he's like.
Like they could have just started the movie right there.
Well, it doesn't. He kills two people. Who cares? He stabs one. I don't even remember how he kills the dude, but then he kills the woman by putting it looks like a piece of wire through her neck, and it pops out at the screen, because it's in 3D. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. What else happens with the kids? I don't fucking care. Just keep going.
They're driving. They get pulled over. They start eating the weed.
Oh yeah, they get because the cops show up behind them and they think they're gonna like get pulled over,
But
so
they
they
don't.
start eating the weed and then the cops just fucking like, vroom, and then they're just like, oh man, like yeah, you fucking that sucks. I guess that was probably a lot of weed. That was probably and they were white kids too, so you know somebody ripped them the fuck off. So that was probably like a lot of money that just went down the drain. like you know that's what happened.
But I guess they get to the camp after that, and then we meet fucking monotone ass Rick.
Yeah, who's his line delivery is like
Like he sounds like a side character that should be in like To Kill a Mockingbird or
he
something.
sounded like he that's what he looked like, but he sounded like all of his lines were delivered by AI. That's what it sounded like, with no emotion whatsoever. And I was just like, oh my god, dude, like give me something. Like fuck, this is terrible. Ugh. At least he had a okay death, I guess.
Nah, he died in that stupid sweater.
That Pamela Voorhees ass sweater. Yeah, I wonder if that was intentional.
It probably was.
Probably. But yeah.
Oh well, no. First, they're also driving, and that's when they run into Discount Ralph.
Yeah, Discount Ralph.
Just laying on the road.
That's what they called me in high school. Discount Ralph. He's just laying in the road, and what I love is that Chris doesn't even like fucking like notice. It took Andy being like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And then Chris is just like, "I didn't even see him." Yeah, because she hates poor people. I guess I don't know. She just hates homeless people. Chris is a noted fucking vagrant murderer in her hometown, I guess. And she's like, I didn't even see him. Ooh, they're invisible to me. They offer nothing to society. I don't care. Somebody's gonna take that out of context.
Thought it was a deer.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like, come on, this dude's like this yogi ass looking dude is laying in the middle of the street. What do you think? Like, what are you doing?
Fucking Yoki.
Oh my god. Anyway, he's just like, they wanted me to have this fucking eyeball or whatever.
It didn't even look like an eye.
It looked like a sperm cell. That's what it looked like. It looked like a big old zygote. Is that what they call it? I don't know if that's what they call
I
it.
don't know.
It looked like a big old fucking gloppy sperm. You like that adjective, gloppy? Because I sure do. But that's what it looked like. It looked like a big old gloppy glob. And he just puts it. This motherfucker puts it up to the camera and holds it there for like 5 to 10 seconds. And he's like, she wore this omen or whatever the fuck he says. And it's just like, bro, I get it. There were like so many points where I was like, I get it, dude. Fuck. Oh my god. I don't care. I don't care about 3D. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue, Justin.
Then they're at the camp. They meet Rick. Well, he like fucking ambushes Chris and like tries to immediately kiss her after they apparently haven't seen each other for a while.
Oh yeah, and Chris has like intimacy issues, or something where she doesn't want to like, she has a hard time being intimate or something like that.
Because she doesn't know what happened.
Yeah, because she doesn't know what happened.
Yeah.
What does that mean? She knows what happened.
I don't think Jason raped her.
No, I mean I know that, but like,
No, because remember she says she blacked out and doesn't remember what happened. She just wakes up back in her bed, and her parents never said anything.
I don't know. Bro might have been curious. Who knows? I don't know. Either way,
The man kills when people are having sex. Why is he gonna engage in himself?
Maybe that's why he kills people when they're having sex, is because he was so unimpressed and he was just like, I don't want anybody to do this. I like this is awful. Who fucking likes this? And I think that might be what happened. I think did we discover new lore? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
But no, that's one of the themes that I read about on Wikipedia is that she kind of acts like somebody that was like a victim of like sexual assault.
Yeah.
But there's like nothing in the lore to say that she was like abused by a family member, and they don't imply that she was abused by Jason either. It's just like a weird like parallel, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like a metaphor probably for that kind of thing. But I don't know.
They were just stretching for meaning in this.
Yeah, because as we know, Friday the 13th always teaches us valuable lessons. Like how to use a machete, I guess. I don't know. that's it.
That's it.
That's how to use a spear gun, probably. That's all I got. I don't know. But yeah,
What else
she doesn't remember
happens?
what happened when Jason knocked her out, or she knocked herself out, or whatever.
Yeah, but she doesn't tell that story till later in the movie.
I do like that scene a lot though, because of where it's like that crossfade between her and it's like you see her face telling it, but it's like faded
Yeah.
and there's like opacity. It's pretty nice. It's opaque. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty good.
Then they all just settle into the cabin and shit, and then I think Shelly plays another dumb prank. God, I wanted to punch him so bad.
And it's a group shit like in Solo. That's what they do. They settle in and shit, just like in Solo.
I don't remember that.
Well, you will whenever we cover it. I hope that's what we get for the one-off, so you have to watch it. I hope that's what happens. But anyway, keep going. I'm sorry.
And then let's see what else happens. Fuck, this is where I draw a blank.
Oh my god, I don't remember. It doesn't matter.
Well, I know Vera and Shelly go to the store at that one point.
Oh yeah, and then Shelly or Vera doesn't have any fucking money, and she's like, "Shelly, I need some money." And Shelly's like, "Okay, cool." And he throws his wallet at the camera because it's a 3D film. And then she's like, "Thanks." And then they just get like harassed by these biker people for some fucking reason. Like out of nowhere, like Fox, I think is the name of the girl. And she gives him back like the wallet. Like what was she doing? Like why was she? What was she trying to accomplish?
She's just in it for the fun, considering how fucking paranoid she was when they wanted to go set the barn on fire.
Oh, oh, so she's just a troll. She just likes fucking with
She's
people.
a follower.
But then her boyfriend, her boyfriend got upset because of Shelly's stupid ass. Go ahead. You tell him what happened. Tell him what Shelly did. Tell him what Shelly does. Old stupid fucking dumb ass. Old fucking goof
He backs
troop.
into their motorcycles.
Yep.
And then tries to run him over.
And then he tries to run him over. Like, what the fuck? The dude was just standing there menacingly.
Well,
sure.
to be fair, he did break his windshield and all that.
Well, that was after he backed into his bike, so like.
But that was an accident.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like Shelly was like, "Oh no, a black guy." So then he went into reverse for some reason because he's racist, and then he backed into their bikes, and then that's when he was like, "Oh shit!" And all he had to do was just swerve around him and keep going. And that would have been fine, but instead he's like acts like he's gonna run him over and then stops. And then the dude's like, "Oh, fucking, I'm gonna break your windshield." And then he does it in 3D, because this is a 3D movie. You get it?
Is it?
So then he does that. And then Shelly's like, "Oh, fuck you." And then he, like, almost runs him over. And then he, like, runs over his bike. And the dude's like, "You come back here. I'm gonna get you." And then,
He's like, "You're gonna pay for this."
yeah. And then they get back to camp, and Rick's like, "What did you do to my car? What happened?"
The white guy's name was Loco.
Oh my God, what happened to my car? That's how Rick delivered that line. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay? And then he's like, "Come on, Chris, sleep with me." George, hey, buddy, come here.
Damn.
Come here, buddy. Hey, come here.
Sneeze attack.
No, he's not sneezing. He's going to throw up.
Oh.
Yeah, that's his hairball noise. Y'all are going to hear this. I'm sorry. Hey, come here. Come here.
Top quality right
Keep him occupied. I'm going to make sure he's okay.
Make sure George is okay. So yeah, Shelly backs into their bikes like a dumbass. Then they drive off, and Rick gives his poor line delivery. And then
Very poor, yeah.
And then I was just commenting how that white dude's name was Loco.
Loco?
So yeah, and then Rick's all being pissy because he can't get none, and he's like,
Classic Rick
This
behavior.
is a little more than I bargained for."
Yeah, the whole reason he showed up was to get some of that.
Like literally puts his hands to his hips and shakes his head.
Some of that Chrissy, but he didn't. That's the whole reason he showed up, and she's not putting out because she has unresolved trauma, and that's what happens. And yeah, he puts his hands on his hips like a fucking dad from a '50s sitcom. I'm just like, who are you? Like, where did you come from, dude? What are you doing? Where did they find you? Of all fucking people. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah. Then what happens, Justin?
They're just doing some shit around the fucking house. Rick and Chris go fucking mess with hay in the barn, and they're like, she's like, "Oh, my dad always wanted to get a horse, but he never did. He just kept buying hay." Well, I think your dad's stupid and wasted money.
Is that what they say?
That's what she told
I don't
him.
even fucking remember that, dude.
The reason they had so much hay was because her dad was gonna buy a horse, but never did, but kept buying hay.
Wow. Art, dude. This is art.
What happens after that?
It's a great question, Justin. What does happen after that? Is
Fuck.
that when she tells her story?
No, she doesn't tell her story till everyone else starts getting killed.
Oh, yeah.
Because her and Rick drive off, and then he leaves the fucking headlights on while she tells her story for mood lighting, and then the car doesn't start.
he's like, oh, this is gonna be good, and he leaves the fucking headlights on. Maybe because he thought he was gonna get some, so he had the headlights on.
It's like, and then he just turns the key once and gives up. It's like,
Yeah.
guess we're walking.
Yeah, he doesn't even try. That's a classic.
Don't worry,
Rick
I know a
behavior.
shortcut.
And then they proceed to take the longest walk of their lives. But yeah,
well,
what else
Jason
happens?
starts killing everybody else there. I mean, this is the entire time he's been like creeping around.
Yeah, just creeping.
He was in the barn, spinning some yarn.
Yeah.
Then the stupid fucking bikers come to try to get their revenge.
Yeah, and then
And their whole plan is burn down the barn. It's like, what a stupid plan. They didn't even bring their own gas to do it. They decided to be even bigger assholes and siphon the gas out of the van.
Yeah, they siphon that, and then Fox goes into the barn, and then she plays a joke on Loco, and then she gets impaled with a pitchfork, and then
Through the
Loco
neck.
goes inside, and then Loco's like, "Oh fuck," and then Loco gets killed, and then whatever the fuck the main guy's name is walks in.
Ali.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's Ali. That's right." He goes in, and he gets knocked out with a bottle.
Jason just didn't like him.
But was that a bottle?
I don't know
what
what he was holding. I couldn't tell. It looked like it looked like a rock in a little bag. That's
yeah,
what it
well,
looked like to
he
me.
beats him a little bit, and then he gets knocked out. And then Jason's just like, and
I'll
then
just leave you here for later.
I'll leave you here and allow you to recuperate. So
I mean, it didn't do him any good, anyways.
no, it didn't. What happens next, Justin?
I think that's when Rick and Chris go off on their little adventure.
Yeah.
And then Shelly's still trying to make his moves and shit. And Vera's just like, we can be friends.
Isn't that they're like juggling, right?
Yeah.
And then
him and Andy are having a juggling contest.
and then Andy's girlfriend is like, "Oh, there's so many better things you can do with your hands." And I'm like, "You're that easy, dude?" like that's what like I am a man of focus. I would just be like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And I just keep fucking juggling. I bet. I'm just going to keep juggling. I've got to beat this fat fuck. I got to keep juggling, all right? Like that's how I'd be. I wouldn't let that stop me. If I'm trying to win, I'm trying to win. But anyway, they go fuck in a hammock,
Yeah.
which does not seem like it would be fun at all. But what do I know? I don't know. I guess. Hey George, you all right, little buddy? You all right, little baby? You little sneezer? Are you gonna sneeze all week, and then the Saturday I'm gonna take you to the vet? You just decide to be perfectly fine again, you little butt. Because I'm
Yeah.
taking you to the vet on Saturday. You best believe it.
To the vet.
But anyway,
Anyway.
So then they fuck in a hammock, and then Shelly's talking to Vera or whatever,
It's like, I really like you, blah, 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 blah.
and then she's like, "It's not gonna work. We'll talk about it later." But like,
I'm going to go outside for a minute, but we'll
But-
talk.
but I think she like just didn't want to fucking. She was thinking about it because of what she says later, and then Shelly's just like, "Oh, bitch," and I'm just like, "Bruh, bruh, come on, dude." And then Vera's just hanging out by the dock, wearing not wearing a pair of socks, and she's vibing, and then she like, does she drop something in the water?
No, first Shelly fucking does the stupid prank on her, and then they fight.
But no,
with
but why does she put her hand in the water? Or no,
because she
she's
drops his wallet.
no, but like for Shelly to grab her. Remember, like doesn't she like drop something in the water? Like doesn't
No,
she
her
like
foot's in the water.
her foot's in the water? Okay, and then Shelly grabs him. She's like, "You're an asshole," and he's like, "Well, that's what you get for rejecting me." Because you don't like me, and then she's like, "I do like you, but not when you're an asshole." And he's like, "But I have to be an asshole," and I'm like, "Bruh, shut up, Christ!" And then he's just like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa," he's just feeling bad for himself and shit, just farting up a storm probably. And
Why did he grab a spear gun for that prank in the first place anyway?
'Cause
Like-
depending on how it went, he was probably gonna kill her, bro. I don't know. That a man like that is one bad day away. like if Homeboy had lived, he would have shot up a school. Like that's just a fact.
God.
Come on, like look at him. You can't tell me he wouldn't. Come on. One level of doom, he would have been like, I know what I'm gonna do.
Well,
And then-
speaking of Doom, we forgot to mention the fucking great opening song.
Oh yeah.
That sounded like it should have been on Classic Doom.
A fucking banger, dude. What a fucking certified classic.
Where the credits also had to emphasize that it was a 3D movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a little distracted right now because I forgot that we were going to cover Evil Dead Rise at some point. I just completely forgot. I just, because it's out on Blu-ray, but I think I have to buy a European version because the American Blu-ray doesn't have any extras. So it would just be watching the movie.
Nice.
And also, it's got that ugly ass Warner Brothers 100th anniversary logo on it. So I don't want that. I don't know. Maybe after we're done with Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, we'll do Evil Dead Rise, and before we kick into the next, which is probably going to be Scream, but we'll figure that out.
Put Evil Dead to rest, then start the next main series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So Shelly's got a spear gun because he's on the verge. He's one step closer to the edge, and he's about to break. And then he fucks off, and he goes into the barn.
Because he sees Jason.
Yeah, he goes into the barn, and then
And he disappears for a while.
and then old fucking Hunchback of Notre Dame Jason walks out with the hockey mask that old buddy boy was wearing. Why was he wearing a hockey mask and scuba gear?
I don't fucking
My
know.
man brought a whole ass scuba suit, but not a fucking snorkel.
Yeah.
You kidding me? No wonder his jokes fucking suck, dude. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Jason's got a spear gun, and Vera's like, "Who are you? Hey, you stop that! You stop that!" And then she gets shot in the eye.
I love watching the string. In that
Yeah.
scene. Ow.
Yeah, it's not great. It does. I was gonna say that whole effect in general doesn't look great.
This movie was definitely not meant to be watched in extreme high quality.
No, it wasn't. It was not at
I
all.
saw every string in this movie.
Nope. That's no. Mm-mm. So anyway, she gets a fucking spear gun to the face, and she gets got. And
Then Jason looks up at the house and he knows what's going on.
he knows what sinful activities are going on in that hammock.
He's like, I gotta get in there.
He's like I gotta stop him. Like I know the truth now. I gotta stop him. So that he gets up there, and what's her name goes to take a shower.
Well, first she insults Andy by saying like, "Oh, that was great," and Andy was like, "Was it me?" He was like, "No, it was the hammock."
It was the hammock. And I'm just like, why are you dating this woman? Like, that pussy game must be ridiculous if you're putting up with that shit. Like, goddamn, I can't, like if somebody did that to me, I would actually be like, was it that bad? Really? Oh, like that's how I would be. I'd just be like, are you serious? Oh man, I really tried though.
Oh, and this is where we bring up the question of what the fuck is her name?
I don't know.
I gotta know.
You sure that one wasn't Chili?
Her name wasn't Chili,
You think, but do you know?
I think.
Anyway, so she goes to take a shower to wipe that fucking sinful stench off her. Does not help anything though, because old fucking handstand boy is just showing off to no one and doing handstands.
Well, he handstands into the shower.
Yeah, and it's one of those POV shots that makes you think, oh, Psycho, And then it's not, because it doesn't have that cool part where Alice opens the curtain and she's looking at the camera, like to where it kind of subverts that expectation. It's not like that.
This one's just focused on her the entire time.
Yeah, and then you just see his feet,
And you
and I'm
only
just
see
like,
half her nipples.
and I'm just like, oh, it's like that Silent Hill 2 monster. Okay, his feet in the air, and then she spooks him, and he's like, "You want a beer?" And she's like, "Yeah, I guess."
But I thought she was pregnant because in the beginning, when the hippies offer her weed,
Yeah,
she's like, we're pregnant. And I'm like, what?
like you are.
And then she just willingly says yes to a beer. I mean, she denies it later, but
Yeah, maybe she remembers that she's pregnant halfway through her shower. Maybe that's what happened.
But yeah, so Andy handstands his way out of the bathroom, and Jason's just like, no.
Jason's like, really? And then he just fucking chops him in half
At his dick.
at his dick. He's like, I know what this tool is for. Bad boy. He says that to the camera. Anyway, he kills him, and then he finds the time to display him in the rafters.
So what's her name? Can start reading a magazine. that
She's
had,
reading Fangoria specifically, which I thought was cool.
It had a Godzilla celebration in it.
It's also Tom Savini's the first article that she turns the page on, and I'm like, ah, cool. And then it's Godzilla about how he's cool or whatever, because he is. So I
Yeah,
have that
'cause-
Godzilla statue over there because he's cool.
We're getting another great Godzilla movie, probably.
Yeah, dude,
-1.
can't wait. It's gonna be a follow up to Shin Godzilla too. So I wonder, because you remember how Shin Godzilla ended, right?
The tail. I don't know. I don't remember. I just remember how weird he fucking looked.
He did look weird, but he's like, it zooms in on him, and it's like all those little like Godzillas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna go see it in theaters.
I mean,
though.
he looks like the different era Godzilla anyway.
Yeah, he looks fucking sick. Oh my god, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Ooh, December. Anyway, so, yeah, she's reading the Godzilla article, and then blood starts dripping on the magazine, and she's like, "What the fuck?" And then she looks up and she sees fucking Andy's fucking filleted ass body, and then she gets killed Kevin Bacon style,
Yep.
and that's it for her. And then Deborah, is that her name? The stoner
Yeah.
girlfriend. She's like, hey, turn the lights go out,
Yeah.
and she's like, turn the fucking breaker on or something.
Well, first you forgot the great popcorn effect. You know, it's really coming at you through the screen. They just had to make you watch that.
That's what I'm saying, Justin. It got old very fast. And then he's like, and then he goes to take a shit because popcorn be doing that. And then
He didn't even eat any.
And then and then Jason starts fucking with him as he's taking a puff, and he's like, "Whoa, heavy shit!" And I'm like, "Bro, I don't think I've ever felt the earth move when I'm smoking weed. I don't think that's what happens. I don't think the earth fucking shakes. I'm not an idiot. I don't know. Anyway, but
Maybe
that
it was
dude
stronger.
is. That dude is. And then in the '80s probably was. That probably was stronger. Anyway, and then he goes back inside. The power goes out, and then he's like, oh fucking all right. So then he goes downstairs to fuck with the fuse box.
Yeah.
Jason's like, and then he throws him into the fuse box, and he dies. And then meanwhile, Shelly comes up with a slit throat, and Deborah's like,
Oh, you fucking idiot. I know it's a joke. Stop playing around.
and then my man just dies a slow, painful death. And then she's like, you're stupid. Then she spits on him and kicks him. And then she starts slapping him really hard. That all happens, by the way. And then, she's looking for what's his name. And then she's like, Shelly, come on. And then Shelly slumps over. And I guess that's what clues her in that he's dead. And then she's like, oh my God, Shelly's dead. Ah! And she's like, not selling it at all.
Well, she's
goes
high.
She goes upstairs to look. Yeah, but like.
She doesn't know if she's freaking out or if this is actually happening.
So then she goes upstairs and she finds, fucking those other two people. And she's like, everybody's dead. And then she goes downstairs and Jason's just like, I got a fire poker. And then he stabs her. And she dies. And that's great. And then meanwhile, Chris is telling Rick about how she was just vibing at camp
No. The story, because her and Rick were dating, and he brought her home late, and her parents were like, "No, the fuck not." And then her mom slapped the shit out of her, so she was like, "I'm gonna get
Moms.
back at them by running away."
Yeah, that's how it be.
So she was like, we're just gonna stay in the woods for a while, to try to scare them, to make them feel bad for what they did." And then she like fell asleep, and Jason just comes out of nowhere,
And just starts slapping her. Or he
Chasing-
tries. He starts
chasing her around and dragging her, and then she blacks out and doesn't remember what happened. And
This
nobody
is-
ever told her what happened.
This is the best part of the movie, though, because it's that cool shot where old girl's really selling it. Like, this is probably the best acting performance in the movie. And then she's like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I just really like how the scene was edited. And then, yeah, Jason's like, I don't know. Yeah, she doesn't remember what happened, and she's got intimacy issues because of the unresolved trauma. It'd be like that. So then, he's like, well, let's get back. Or no, the lights go out, and he's like, oh, the fucking battery. And I'm like, yeah, you left your headlights on, you idiot. The fuck? You stupid. And then he tries to start it, and he's like, well, that's it. And then he just they start walking, and they eventually get back to camp. They find everybody dead. And then she's like looking for Rick. And then Rick's like being like muffled out by Jason, and then he just crushes his head and his eyeball pops out at the camera, because this is a 3D movie, in case you forgot. Yeah. And then he's fucking dead. And then at one point, Jason throws him through a window to scare her. And I'm just like, where's his eye? Like, his eyeball popped out. Like, come on.
It's on the ground outside. What do you think?
Oh, okay. That's a fair point.
Stuck to the camera.
Yeah, there we go. And then he's like, anyway, and then we get the final girl chase. She pulls a knife out of whatever the fuck her name is, which, is actually kind of a horrific thing to do. like I thought about that. I'm like, man, if like my buddy was dead and I was like fighting a killer and I had to like pull a knife out of his dead fucking neck, I'd feel pretty gross. I would not be happy about it. Anyway, then she does that. She like cuts him, and he's like, ugh, ugh. And then she beats him up a little bit. They go to the barn. She hangs him. And then Jason's like, haha, just kidding. And then he takes the rope off, and his mask comes up, and you see his doofy ass face. And Chris is just like, oh, it's you. And then he's like, I don't know who the fuck you are. And then he puts the mask back on, and then he starts chasing her again. She's about to get got, and then Ali jumps out of a cupboard. I don't know what he's in. He jumps out of something, and then he tries.
Doesn't try shit. He immediately gets his hand whacked off, and then Jason just fucking destroys him.
Destroys him, yeah.
Like, he beat the shit out of him, and then he just chops
kept-
him to pieces.
Just kept hitting him with that machete.
Jason had a problem with this dude.
Maybe Jason's racist. I don't know. I mean, he is from the 50s. He might be racist. I mean,
look at his mom.
that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Like he's probably racist.
She's the kind of woman that walks around, do you live in this neighborhood?
Yeah. She absolutely is. I'm sorry I peeked the mic when I clapped, but that's absolutely.
You know somebody around here?
I'm calling the cops. I'm just walking. I'm calling the cops. Okay, whatever. That's 100%.
It's so sad that people like that exist.
That's so fucking funny, because that is what she looks like. Yeah, but he really didn't like him though. He was like, yeah, I just know he was thinking slurs in his head. There's no way he wasn't. Oh, fucking Jason. Anyway, Chris gets an axe, and then she gets him in the head, and then he's like, and then he dies.
He does his little pop up, and it's like,
Yeah, because the killer always comes back for one final scare. That's gonna be a recurring theme across all 6 of the Scream movies. Hope you're ready for that.
oh boy.
But that's like one of my favorite parts of it, though, is that it just keeps happening. Like, they know it by now, and they just don't make sure that everybody's dead. And then it's like, well, yeah, they're gonna come back because they're not dead, dude. What the fuck? Anyway, and then yeah, so all that happens, and and then she's just fucking insane. Because she's floating in a canoe in the lake, and then she sees Jason with a gash in his head, like watching her from a window, and then he like comes outside, and then like she's like freaking out trying to get away, but there's like a branch in the way, and then she looks back and Jason's gone. But then Pamela Voorhees pops out of the water, Why?
Why
Why?
not?
And then she, she gets grabbed, and then
It's just the same ending as the first movie.
yeah, she's going away, and she's like losing her mind, and then it's like it pans over to Jason, and Jason's just like, meh, he's dead, and then
Or is he?
that was supposed to be the end. So there were two alternate endings. One of them was where, what was gonna happen was, I believe she goes back to the cabin, and she sees, or something happens in the barn, like something takes her back to the barn, and then like she finds Jason, and like she cuts his head off with like a sickle or something, and he was gonna, because it was gonna be the last one. It was just gonna be the end of the trilogy. He was gonna be dead. And then the other ending was a different dream sequence where she's back in the cabin and she thinks she sees Rick outside, so they're both running to the door together, like parallel. He's outside, she's inside. And when she opens the door, it's Jason, and he decapitates her. And then she wakes up in the hospital. And then that's how it was gonna, which would be way cooler than fucking Pamela Voorhees popping out. And apparently that one was actually filmed. They just didn't use it for whatever reason. So anyway, yeah, that's that. So now let's look at our old friendly Wikipedia article.
Whoa!
So the original storyline was supposed to focus on a post-traumatic Ginny who began learning self-defense and returned to college after surviving her ordeal in the previous film.
That would have made more sense.
After finding Paul's corpse inside her dorm, she prepares to track down Voorhees and face him in a final confrontation. However, this concept was abandoned when Amy Steele declined to reprise her role. Another idea was going to be where she was in the mental hospital, and then like Jason tracked her down and started killing people in the hospital, kind of like Dream Warriors, but probably not as good. And then she was gonna fight him, but yeah, that's not what happened. So apparently, this was the first film to remove E.T. the Extraterrestrial from the #1 box office spot, and became
Take that, E.T.
and became the second highest grossing horror film of 1982 behind Poltergeist. Isn't that something?
Poltergeist sucks.
All right, buddy, listen. I don't get out of my house. I've never seen it. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, let me see. Sent to a psychiatric hospital. Yada yada
Yada.
yada yada yada. Yeah, and at the time, Steele turned down the role due to her involvement in other projects, resulting in significant script changes. Steele recalled, "They really wanted me for part 3. They didn't have a script, but they were just going to show me some sort of outline. Then my agents got involved, and I don't know if it was a money issue or a script issue, but I didn't do it." Screenwriter Ron Kurz, who had written part 2, was offered to draft a screenplay, but also turned down the project. Husband and wife screenwriting duo Martin Kitrosser and Carol Watson instead were hired to write the screenplay for part 3. And then some other guy came in to alter the screenplay to make it, quote, more sinister and menacing. Though the final film version of the script contained significant contributions from that guy, Petru Popscu, he remained uncredited. That's too bad. And the script for part 3 called for Jason to wear a mask to cover his face. The mask would become a trademark for the character. We already know that. I don't care. So apparently casting was based on looks rather than talent. Boy, you can tell.
Obviously.
And recalled that his vision of the characters was at significant odds with the cast chosen by Steve Miner. Dana Kimmel was cast in the lead role of Chris Higgins after Miner had become aware of her involvement in Sweet 16, another slasher film she had appeared in with Bo Hopkins and Susan Strasberg. Tracy Savage, who had previously worked as a child actor, was offered the role through her agent. Larry Zerner was discovered by casting directors while walking down a street and was offered the role of Shelley. He's a lawyer now, I think. And then for the role of Jason Voorhees, Miner cast British stuntman Richard Brooker. I was watching the special features, and it was so weird because like the dude that played Jason popped up, and he just started talking in this posh British accent, and I was like, I wonder how he felt. I wonder how he felt doing this fucking movie. Like, I wonder if he was just like, oh, I used to be an actor. Like, I wonder if he thought of that.
I mean, he got paid.
Like, that reminds me of when Bob Hoskins did Super Mario, and he said that he was watching his kid play Super Mario Bros. On the NES, and he's like, "Look, Dad, that's you." He's like, and I'm just like this short little bunch of pixels, and I thought to myself, I did Shakespeare. like what has my career come to? That's what that reminds me of. But anyway, yeah. Then it was filmed in wherever, but so it was Paramount Pictures' idea, along with another production company, to shoot the film with 3D cameras. Paramount leased 2 3D-Pix cameras from the photography company Marx Polarized Corporation to shoot the film. Well, that is a lot of unnecessary info. Simultaneously, Paramount executive Al Lopresti was researching that's not a real name, was researching current 3D camera technology with the intention of developing a 3D lens to be owned and used exclusively by Paramount.
Guess that never happened.
Yeah. Let me see. According to a September 1982 issue of Forbes, Sirius 2 Corporation owner Gail Weaver visited the set of Friday the 13th Part 3 reportedly over producer Frank Mancuso Jr.'s worries that faulty projection lenses at cinemas would prevent the film from having a wide theatrical release. Over a 2-week period, Weaver developed a prototype lens. I don't care about any of this. Why am I reading this? So yeah, it was filmed with 3D cameras. Who cares? Here's a quote. The key priority in every scene was making sure that the 3D effects worked. It didn't matter how the lines were delivered. It didn't matter if we stumbled or fumbled. It didn't matter if our performance was not perfect. We never did a second take. The 3D effects were a very technical, difficult thing to do. Apparently, they did multiple takes of the 3D effects, but not the acting. And boy, can you tell.
Yeah.
Fuck. Anyway. Yeah, because of the newness of the 3D camera lenses, the shooting process was extensive, with the crew sometimes taking hours to set up a shot and the cast performing multiple takes of scenes in order for the cinematographer to properly capture the 3D effects. Actor Larry Zerner recalled that perfecting the 3D effects often superseded the actress's performances. It became clear quickly that most of the time the performances didn't matter. When we were shooting the scene at the convenience store with the gang members and I had to throw a wallet at the camera, it was hit the camera. Then after 10 takes, it was hit the camera, asshole. After Tracy Savage echoed this sentiment, or actress Tracy Savage echoed this sentiment. Yeah, we already knew that. And then, Jason got his mask in this one. It was similar to like Michael's mask. They just took like a regular hockey mask and made some alterations to it, like adding the red triangles and shit.
They were blue.
And more, and they're blue in, excuse me, they're blue in part 5.
They were in this one too.
No, they're not. They're red.
I didn't see red.
I'm looking at a picture right now. It is
No,
red.
You're lying.
It is red.
It's
Justin,
not red.
I'm going to murder Justin.
It's blue.
It is red.
I don't know.
I'm going to kill you. Anyway, apparently, there were 2 prosthetic face masks created for Richard Brooker to wear. One mask was composed of approximately 11 different appliances and took about 6 hours to apply to Brooker's face. This mask was used for scenes where the hockey mask was removed. In the scenes where the hockey mask was over the face, a simple head mask was created. This one-piece mask would simply slip over Brooker's head, exposing his face but not the rest of his head. That's weird. Oh, and then they put the mask... Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the film's music was once again composed by Harry Manfredini. That's why that's one of the best parts of the movie.
Yep.
A disco theme was also included in the film. The theme was included on releases of the film's soundtrack, and according to Manfredini, became popular at disco and gay clubs at the time. Let me tell you something, buddy. If I was alive in the 80s, my gay ass would have been fucking jumping to that shit. I'm gonna be real. Gay people already love horror, so like... I don't know. It's kind of a shoe-in. That's like I would have been there. I would have been like, yeah. I would have loved it. So anyway, yeah. It was released in the United States on Friday, August 13th,
Oh yeah.
1982.
They got it right.
It was the first ever 3D film to receive a wide domestic release, opening on 1,000 screens. 813 of the screens were 3D capable, while the remainder consisted of drive-in theaters, which were unable to accommodate the format. That's crazy. In order to allow, and there's a bunch of reissues and shit. Whole lot of those. Film grossed $9 million in its opening weekend and broke the opening horror film record held by Friday the 13th. Domestically, the film made a total of $36.7 million. It placed number 21 on the list of top-grossing films, whatever. Adjusted for inflation, it's the 9th highest-grossing slasher film of all time. That's pretty impressive. Critical response. Here's the fun part.
Yes.
On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, Friday the 13th Part 3 holds an approval rating of 7% based on 27 reviews, with an average rating of 3.7 out of 10. The site's consensus reads, Jason may solidify his iconic wardrobe in this entry, but Friday the 13th Part 3 lacks any other distinguishing features, relying on a tired formula of stab and repeat. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
On Metacritic, it has a weighted average score of 30 out of 100, based on 7 critics indicating generally unfavorable reviews. While criticizing the plot for being derivative, in a mixed review for the New York Times, film critic Janet Maslin, who might be stupid, praised the acting of Kimmel, Savage, Rogers, and Parks, in which she called a major improvement to the acting in the predecessors.
I mean,
Kimmel, sure, because that's Chris. Everybody else, listen, no.
well, Andy and his girlfriend did all right.
No. And wrote that Miner's use of 3D filmmaking was innovative and the most professional effort when compared to other films released at the time, stating, and I quote, as in each of the other recent 3D movies, of which this is easily the most professional, there is a lot of time devoted to trying out the gimmick. Titles loom towards you, yo-yos spin, popcorn bounces, snakes dart toward the camera and strike. Eventually, the novelty wears off pretty fucking quick, and what remains is the now familiar spectacle of nice, dumb kids being lopped, chopped, and perforated. What a word, perforated. That's a good word. I like that word. Anyway, so you also felt the film was superior to prior 2 films in the series. Really? I think Part 2 is better. Just off the top of my head. I feel like Part 2 is still my favorite one so far. Out of the ones we've watched. Writing for the Los Angeles Times, Linda Gross wrote, ironically, Friday the 13th Part 3 is so terrible that Friday the 13th Part 1 and Friday the 13th Part 2 don't seem so bad. Richard Schickel of Time Magazine wrote, maybe all sequels should be made in 3D, you dumb motherfucker. It is all so gruesome that horror turns to humor and fun comes from the appreciation of being cleverly conned by Steve Miner. The way the eyeball of one of Jason's victims pops out of his skull and seems to sail over the audience's head is alone worth buying a ticket and putting on funny glasses. Gene Siskel praised the film's impressive 3D effects, particularly in the opening credits, also noting its slow burn approach as the heavy-duty slaughter doesn't come until 1 hour into the film. I think that's more of a pacing issue than anything, though.
Yeah.
But criticized it for lingering on the impending deaths of the young women who are stalked by the camera, so we find ourselves in the revolting position of stalking them too. That's the point. That's the point. Did you say the same thing about Psycho? I bet you fucking didn't. I bet you didn't, bitch. I bet you didn't say the same fucking thing about Psycho. Oh my god. Joe. I hate that. I hate. Somebody does something bad on screen. That means that it's bad. Yeah, maybe that's the point. I don't know. What do you want me to? What do you want? Huh? Jesus. The entertainment trade magazine Variety provides a general consensus stating, Friday the 13th was dreadful and took in more than 17 million. Friday the 13th Part 2 was just as bad and took in more than 10 million. Friday the 13th Part 3 is terrible too. The magazine added, that's all it is. The magazine added, there are some dandy 3D sequences, however, of a yo-yo going up and down and popcorn popping. I hate these people. Similarly, TV Guide awarded the film 1 out of 5 stars, writing that it exploits precisely the same formula plot as its predecessors, though the gore is a bit de-emphasized with the special effects crew concentrating on the nicely done 3D depth work for a change. It's still trash, however. It also made a ridiculous amount of money. Yeah?
It sounds like you're just mad about that.
Yeah, right? That sounds so passive-aggressive. What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, so, as we said, this is the one where, we got his mask, and that was a big deal. Everybody was like, oh my god, Jason wears a mask? That was cool. So, that's good. It's good for them. But yeah, that's how that goes. That's Friday the 13th, Part 3, baby.
Yeah.
You know what time it is.
In a nutshell.
It's time. It's
To
time to
spin
pick
the wheel.
our next one off, baby. Let's
Fuck yeah.
go. Let's hope it's a fucking awful movie.
Let's hope it's something.
Let's hope it's Solo. Okay.
No, I said something. Bum, 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 bum,
95. Jesus. This is a long list. Okay, let's spin in the wheel. Spin in the wheel.
25.
8. That might be one of yours.
8.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no.
What is it?
Oh, no. It's a twofer. It's fucking Maniac. The original and the remake.
Maniac.
Because I forgot that I set that up. So it's Maniac, one of the most violent and, like, controversial films of the 80s, and its remake starring Elijah Wood, written by Alexandra Aja, who did High Tension and Crawl. So this is going to be interesting. I'm actually kind of excited because this is the first time we're doing this in a while. Because I think the last one we did this for was The Crazies, right? Where
Yeah.
we did it both at the same time. Because I
And
know we
that
did it with The
sucked.
Grudge, but listen, you're just a hater, all right?
The Crazies was boring.
You're just a hater. Anyway, so that's what we got. Next week, we'll be looking at Maniac. Let me order them now. I might as well. She's a maniac, maniac, maniac Blu-ray.
People, you should play Exo Primal.
Oh my God, there's a 4K of it. I'm fucking buying that, baby. Can't wait to watch this fucking violent, misogynistic ass movie in 4K Blu-ray.
Is that the
Can't
one with the cop?
Fucking wait. I don't know,
Or
dude.
am I thinking of a different movie?
It's the one where, I'll just let you watch it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let you watch it. I don't want to, because the ending is like very like brutal. It's rated X. Like, it's a rough one. Maniac remake Blu-ray. Does that even exist?
But yeah. Exo Primal is a good game.
God, these are both so fucking. Why are these so expensive? Who cares?
Because
Who cares, dude? They're both $30. One is a regular Blu-ray and one is a 4K.
it's not
Whatever.
a movie
The things
that
I
people
do for
buy
you,
every day.
the things I do for y'all. I'm about to drop 60 on 2 fucking subpar ass slashers, just for y'all. All right.
It's not subpar.
I just dropped 60. Look at me. I feel like Kobe. Yeah, that's me, baby. Thanks, Kanye, for writing that stupid ass bar. and
Overcooked?
Otherwise, a good song. Listen, buddy. It's been like 3 years, but it's still too soon.
You know
Don't-
what's funny?
Stop!
I thought about a joke while I was at work too.
I don't want to hear
That's
it.
just random.
Tell me after we're done.
No, I mean I was just thinking about something like that,
I'll kill you.
and then you just said it, and it was like, okay,
Anyway, yeah. So, Maniac.
Maniac.
She's a maniac, maniac. So yeah, that's these are gonna be rough movies. They're the first one. I don't know how bad the second one, how bad the remake is, but I know like I've seen the ending of the original, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like this is violent, like this is like bad, dude. But yeah, so that's what we're doing, baby. That's a lot of money. So. Do I have any points? I think I have points I can use actually.
Points.
I have points.
Get
yeah.
your goblin points.
Stop.
I don't know. I'll send you a coin that I found on the floor.
I'm gonna send you my toes.
That's gross.
A 4K picture of all of my toes.
Have you finished playing Batman yet?
Which one?
I don't know, whichever fucking one you were on last
No,
time.
I haven't platinumed it yet.
Okay, then.
That's what I'm working on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Exo Primal, isn't that just like MMO Dino Crisis?
No.
It should have been Dino Crisis, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it should have been Dino Crisis, but who knows what's going to happen with Dino Crisis?
Oh,
if
but
it
no,
ever
we
exists.
can't. Just remake it. Just remake Dino
They
Crisis.
probably will.
That's all you gotta do.
But no. Exo Primal is like if Overwatch actually came through with a PvE mode.
Oh, that's good. Is it free to play?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Well, if you ever remind me that you're online, I might hop on. No, you're thinking of Maniac Cop. Maniac's about a serial killer.
Oh.
It's a very violent movie.
Oh, guess I'm in for a treat.
Very misogynistic, even though the ending is like the antithesis of that, which I think is the point. Because horror films, yeah, I guess they're like, usually the victims are young women, but like, there's always a final girl. That's the thing. That's the empowering aspect of it. Is there's always a final girl that takes down this monster.
Just watch I spit on your grave.
Oh, all right. Anyway, I
that
don't
on
want
the
to think.
list?
I don't want to think about that movie. I think.
Oh
Since,
God, no! If we watch that, we have to watch the terrible sequels.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's on the list because of that. Because it would have to be a spin the wheel vote type thing.
But it has a sequel.
Has like 3.
Yeah.
And then doesn't it have like a fucking prequel
I don't fucking remember.
where it like combines both the original and the new one or some
I
shit?
just remembered the original and the remake.
Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It don't matter. None of this matters because you know what? That's it. That's all we got.
That's
Follow
all we
follow us on Facebook.
Everywhere.
Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on I don't know wherever you get your fucking podcasts from. I don't know. Because next time we're talking about Maniac, 2 movies, baby. We're gonna double that shit up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very bloody time. Jesus Christ, I'm excited because these have been on my list for a little bit. So, well, the old one. I don't know about the remake, but the old one definitely is.
Fuck yeah.
So, we'll check it out. I do like how the original Maniac is just some schlubby ass dude, and then in the remake they cast Elijah Wood, who is not like unattractive by any means, and I just think that's kind of funny that they just like went from making him look like a sleazeball to just Elijah Wood. Whatever.
We'll
Anyway,
find out.
We'll catch you next time when we talk about Maniac. Oh
Bye-bye.
boy. Say goodbye, Justin.
Excuse me coughing this entire time.
Yeah, well, you know what? You're not allowed to
Working with
live.
paint and dust all day is fucking annoying.
Yeah.
But I somehow have like weird enjoyment from doing it.
Yeah, that'll wear off. Anyway, we'll talk to y'all next time. Have a fun time listening to our shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, 3D. Ooh.
3D. Ooh.